This is Justin Germino, and I'm here talking about Lambdatest. What Lambdatest is a website that allows you to render your own blog or website on a variety of OSs and platforms and browsers so that you could see how your page is rendering, how your site's rendering, make sure it's dynamic, it looks good on mobile devices, etc. The good thing about Lambdatest is you can get a free account and you can do up to 60 minutes of live testing per month, which is in 6 10-minute sessions. So I'm going to overview what you can test and how it looks. One thing I like to do is, because I have a separate mobile theme for dragonblogger.com, I like seeing how dragonblogger.com looks on variety devices. Make sure it looks proper if the window's small or large. So the first thing you can see is enter your URL when you go into real-time testing, right? You choose whether you want to use a desktop browser, and you got Chrome, Mozilla, IE, Edge, Safari, Yandex. You can choose mobile. Like in this case, I want to see how it renders on an iPhone, and I'll say, let's see how the new iPhone XR. Let's take a look. Okay, that's a upgrade to Plan Access. So let's look at iPhone 6s, and look at the OS version you could choose, and then Safari browser. So let's go ahead and take a look and see how my site renders on the iPhone 6s. Okay, you can see it loaded up right here, and here's how my site looks on the iPhone 6s. You can see my mobility section of my site has the banner at the top. I've got my banner right there. I've got my articles right here. I could scroll through it as if I'm using the browser screen. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty lean. I'm not seeing any issues with the rendering of the images. But let's say I want to take a screenshot. I could quickly take a screenshot, and I could upload that to a bug tracking system. If I'm using a professional bug tracking system, I can record a video. I can make little draws and edits. Like if I want to showcase that, hey, there's something wrong with this, I could do that as well. I can take video, like I said, record a little trial session of me going through my pages, going through my site, seeing how it looks. I could do recording, and then I could play it back later. You can see, and looking at this, obviously the title here is too large. It's kind of blocky. There's no gap in space. That's something I may want to fix, right? I don't kind of like the way the text just spews all over itself like that and becomes all congested. So that's something I might want to work on. That's a good example, and I've recorded that so I can play back later. Like if you had a team and you want to assign it to somebody to correct, I could see the video renders properly. I can see the rest of the article looks pretty good. So again, live testing how your site looks. You can get a gallery, you can paste content, clear cache, and you got various other dev tools you can look at as well. Let me go switch my rendering engine. Let's go back to a desktop. Let's look at Mozilla. Let's choose Windows 8.1. Let's see how my site looks at 1024 by 768 resolution screen. Let it set up right there as well. Okay, so now my site's loaded on a Firefox desktop OS. You can see it renders properly. All my image sizes look right. Everything pretty much looks fine. You could test to make sure that if you have a larger screen or a smaller screen, the images are dynamically sizing properly. You can make sure your menus work. Again, Lambdatest is really good for doing dynamic live testing to make sure that your site renders properly on various OSs, mobile devices, browsers, so that way users are seeing the experience you want them to see. That's the whole purpose of Lambdatest, and they have a really nice free program. Obviously, you see there's a little bit of a premium options, such as the newest iOS phones and versions, and some other features like being able to do more testing and more options open up, but you get a lot of options just for the free testing as well. So when you do your testing, you could see it saves under projects, and you could save various projects that you could come back to later on as well. In this case, I just saved an untitled project over here, and I can go to settings, and I can see what you want an idle timeout to be. If you want to test idle timeouts, you can test your time zones for your idle timeouts as well. When you're done with your testing, you click the end session button, which looks like a power button here, and then you end your testing, and then you get a summary report that you can go to of your entire session. You can also go into your test logs, and you can see I did my real-time browser testing today, and you could show the results of your testing and the video you took from your testing and play it back, download it, things like that. Now, on the issue tracking, basically anytime you took a snapshot or a video, it treated it as an internal issue worth tracking. So you can go to those as well, even if you don't have those exported to an external tracking system or bug track system like Jira or whatnot. So that's a very nice feature as well. Under the visual UI test, of course, you can do a screenshot test. You could see, you know, the screenshots from all the various versions and devices. Like I said, it's fully featured, and you get quite a lot of options to do with the free version. Again, this is Lambdatest. You can use the site to make sure that your website or blog renders properly in a variety of operating systems, browsers, and mobile devices. It's really useful if you're like me and you run your own WordPress self-hosted blog and you use plugins, you use various customized themes. You know, you're going to want to leverage a tool that you can look at and you could do all this rendering, because not everybody owns 5, 6, 7 devices that you're going to have to see how your page and your site looks on all those devices. This helps you simulate your page on multiple devices. That way you can make sure your page is always rendering right and looks good to the reader. Thank you for watching.